But the Red Hood is sort of this, you know, this dastardly thief. Oh, he can tase you.
Yep.
He's gonna tase you, bro!
Oh, wait. No, he's not. Anyways.
Nailed it.
I've been waiting for
Wait,
you.
Mark's talking.
Listening to Zaz make the good doctor scream while you played around in Scarecrow's world. How was it this time? Learn anything about yourself? Oh, tell me. Pull up a seat. Talk to me. I'm all ears. Actually, that reminds me. I could have sworn I heard Zaz cutting her ears off. Certainly sounded like it.
I love Mark Hamill's Joker laugh. Scares the shit out of me. But the Red Hood, so Joker.
Oh, wrong.
Fun fact: the death of Jason Todd was actually the first comic book I ever read.
That's a good place to start. Real uplifting moment.
Real
there.
uplifting moment. I was a little kid and I was hanging out in my friend's basement, and his dad. Whoop,
Carefully. Help me. Come any closer. They'll paint the room crimson.
I can't leave her to die.
Batman's like, could I leave? Would that be okay?
Kind of want to, though. So Jason Todd.
So Jason Todd. Jason Todd was the, was the Robin that everybody kind of hated. He wasn't as charming as Dick. And the thing, because Dick Grayson had, 50 years on poor Jason. But the fans just didn't like Jason Todd. And so DC because this is from the era of the death of Superman crossover event. It's not a crossover, I should say, but it was a big, you need to buy this comic because Superman dies in it. And it's like, how long is that going to stick?
Begging to be slaughtered.
Hee
Good night, Miss Young.
Now, that was unexpected. Who'd have figured a deranged murderer would kill the poor little doctor?
I actually fully admit to doing that for the little video there. Not everyone knows it's there.
Easy.
Because most of you pass it on the first try. We've heard that one already. So Jason Todd.
Jason Todd. So nobody liked Jason Todd.
Fuck Jason Todd.
Well, not nobody, but a bunch of people didn't like Jason Todd.
He's pretty unlikable.
He's pretty unlikable. He was sort of very of the 90s, and they tried to write him as this sort of cynical version of Dick in a way. And there was this event where Jason Todd was looking for his mother, where Lady Shiva shows up. P.S. I love Lady Shiva.
Evil monster!
He's not going anywhere. You can stop now.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I saw Bane.
I know. Joker threatened me. I wanted to stop the experiment. I tried to give him his money back.
Joker doesn't take no for an answer.
He wants an army, a horrible twisted force to destroy Gotham, but he couldn't do it without the formula. I hid it, but...
So now he has Venom and your formula.
God, he has gallons of the stuff. There's a lab, hidden in the gardens. It's locked off, but the security key codes for the entire island are in the warden's safe.
What else is Joker planning?
How should I know? You think anything he says makes sense? I think he's insane. Oh my God!
Get out of the way!
Poor Dr. Young. Still, you know how Mr. J hates a squealer. Talking about squealers.
Somebody help me!
That old loony actually thinks he runs this place. Talk about crazy. Well, bad places to go. Get it, boys. If he gets up, knock him down, but not too rough. Mr. J needs him at the party.
He's gonna tase you, bro! I liked that guy waited. It was nice. So DC decided they needed to get rid of Jason Todd somehow. That whole looking for his mom bit hadn't worked. So they did this weird ass event where Joker kidnapped Jason
Oracle.
and tied him, you know, had him in a
Figured
warehouse.
out a way past these security gates. Before she died, she told me there's a production plant hidden somewhere in the gardens.
The Wayne Tech security protocols seem to be hack-proof. Lucius did a good job. It's a two-part biometric sequence apparently generated by the Warden using a code sequencer.
And destroyed by Joker in the safe explosion. Harley Quinn has the Warden, and he's the only chance we have to get past these gates.
Okay, good luck.
So, you have given in and taken my map. I hope it proves useful.
So that's the ventriloquist dummy.
Another one of my favorite characters of the Batman universe. Mostly for the just insane creepy factor of him, but
Scarface. Cool thing about the ventriloquist is that the, you know, Scarface is always Scarface. That's the puppet. But
there's been multiple ventriloquists over the years. Hasn't
yeah,
there?
and there's been different genders too, which is really interesting. My favorite is there's, you know, the girlfriend who's sort of dressed like Jessica Rabbit. He's this gorgeous Jessica Rabbit looking girl who's carrying around Scarface on her arm. So they kill. So Joker has little, like, you know, 13-year-old Jason Todd tied to a chair and just starts beating him with a crowbar. And the comic ends with a hotline that says, you know, call this number if you want Jason to live, and call this number if you want Jason to die. When I read this, it was like 2000 or something.
And no one had cell phones yet.
So, like, I was calling a number that, like, didn't exist, you know? Because I didn't understand. It wasn't 2000. I was probably 8.
It was late enough. You should have known better.
I should have known better. And fun story, I've actually been told by a friend that the Marvel interns may have tried to sway it to kill Jason Todd in an early form of trolling.
I think it would be more interesting if they killed Jason Todd personally, but...
Well, this is the thing, is that there were a lot of fans who were just like, no, I want him to die. And it's like, okay, that's, I mean, I understand that from a narrative perspective, but it's also like, did we really have to do that as a toll-free, like, American Idol, eventually American Idol style voting? Like, WTF, man. So that happens. Jason Todd dies, and everybody's just really confused because, like, he, like, dies in an explosion, and Joker beat him to death, and they bury him, and there's a funeral, and it's, you know, Batman sort of has never lost a charge that way before, so he goes on a really interesting, quite well written, soul searching thing. And these...
Sure it came from over there.
Oh my god, so many guns!
Okay, it's not working the way I thought it was going to.
No. Oh, you're trying to do the grapnel gun grab thing?
Almost trying to do the disarming.
So these ones know how to pick up their guns. It's BS.
I'm sure there's a better way of doing that than I just did, but you replenish health in weird ways. Like immediately after that fight, so
yeah,
I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel bad gambling it.
Crazy bitch.
Everybody loves the word bitch.
So Jason Todd!
Jason Todd! I just love that Harley's like, screw you and your gender slang.
Anyone caught will have their legs removed and perform magic tricks for Emperor Joker. There, I did it.
You're doing great, Sharpie. Ready for more?
Aww.
So because even I don't like Jason Todd, and I genuinely actually enjoy characters you're not supposed to like in the comic book universe, that's really all there is to say about Jason Todd. There was this whole...
Well, no, but the thing about Jason is that he's not very likable as a sort of badly written kid. But soon, they started doing these events where it seemed like Jason might be alive. And to be fair...
Never liked her anyway.
You're cold.
I wanted to know what Joker did to the other guy. But Bruce has always viewed Jason as his biggest failure. And, you know, he eventually, because Clayface was doing stuff and impersonating people, they exhumed Jason's grave and they realized nobody was in it. And Bruce goes on this quest to try and find out what, you know, where's Jason's body, what's going on. And eventually he shows up at the League of Assassins, and Rachel Gould is like, so I fucked up.
Unloading them into your head.
Because so Rage just sort of is like standing there being his like Rage self. Ah, snipers. And he's like, I kind of screwed up real bad, man. I screwed up real bad.
And for Rage to say that's a pretty big deal.
That's a huge deal. The only man who has more ego than Ra's al Ghul is Lex Luthor.
I don't know. I think Ra's al Ghul might have more ego than Luthor still. Luthor can at least back up his hubris. Ra's al Ghul, despite being semi-immortal, doesn't actually have a lot of accomplishments to fall back on. Like,
he is a cult leader. Building and maintaining a cult is fucking impressive.
I'm not denying that, but if you compare the two, at least Luthor can back up some of his talk.
Raish has people to back up his talk for him. So
yeah, but Luthor's the kind of guy who will cure
leader.
cancer just to kill someone with it.
So Raish, it turns out that Raish partnered with the Joker. And he told the Joker where Jason was, and his hope was that it would sort of urge the Batman back into... He always calls him the Batman. It would urge him into... Oh, Zaz.
Keep talking.
I just love the cute little inmate banner. Because some of them have great punchlines. So Raish says I screwed up and I feel really awful about what happened to Jason, so I put him in a Lazarus pit. And for those of you who don't know what a Lazarus pit is, it's what it sounds like. It's a pit that allows a dead body or a person who is aging to rise from the grave.
It's how Raish is semi-immortal.
It's how Raish is semi-immortal. And the Lazarus pit tends to drive you kind of cray-cray.
When we say kind of, we mean...
Usually cray-cray.
It's part of why I say Ra's al Ghul doesn't have quite as much clout as Luther does in my book, because Ra's al Ghul is obviously cray-cray thanks to the pit.
It's true. So we put Jason in a Lazarus pit, and Jason wakes up, and he screams bloody murder, and jumps out a window. And Raish is like, okay, so I fucked up, and I took your son's body from his grave, but, he's dead again. And I couldn't find his body, but he's dead again.
Totally dead!
He's totally dead. And you're like, I don't think he's dead. And there's this character that shows up around this time, even before this, who's the Red Hood, and it's this, this sort of imposing, like, 20-something, 19-20-something guy.
And he's basically Batman with guns.
In a red mask. Yeah, and he's Batman with guns. He's a vigilante. He takes over the drug industry in Gotham, basically being like, you can sell drugs when, like, it's fine to sell drugs, you just can't sell to kids. So he's Batman with less of a rigid moral compass, I should say.
He's Batman that embraces control of crime.
Yeah, well, it's... Oh, dear. What is going on? Why is everybody yelling?
Remember when this was actually an asylum still?
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, so this game so far has showcased the criminal aspect of the Arkham system. It's also an asylum, and asylums have genuinely crazy people in them. As terrible as that sounds in some regards.
Crazy is an ableist term, as is crackhead, and I apologize for using it. But so you start to realize that, like, Red Hood is kind of Batman-y, and you're like, I wonder if that's Jason Todd. And here's a spoiler: it is Jason Todd.
There's actually a really good animated version of this story out there.
Yes,
called Under the Red Hood or something like that.
That's the name of the original. That's the original
it is
story.
Brutal as hell.
The voice cast is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm really not interested in a bunch of flowers, Ivy.
They're in pain, crying for help.
Just stay where you are. Last thing I need is you running free.
Poor children. I'll save you.